Hello, my name is Catherine Geacock and I'm excited to tell you all about action learning. So let me start by setting the context as to why action learning is important. Our organisations are built on leadership frameworks still based on industrial age thinking, which still use the foundations of the early 1900s Industrial Revolution. For organisations of today, operating within the 21st century of the technology and knowledge economy, these principles that we have built our organisations and leadership skills around are starting to creak, if not break. The 21st century requires business leaders to rethink and reimagine how they operate, lead and engage their people. It requires different practices, structures and skills. Research at Google found that soft skills are what makes people and teams successful. But the challenge we have is many people feel these skills are beneath them. To survive and thrive in the 21st century world of work, these are the skills everyone will need to get on not just in work, but also in life. Our ability to problem solve has been diminished, though, from our quick fix and solutions-focused world. We fail to spend enough time understanding the problem before coming up with solutions. This results in many of the solutions we come up with failing as we haven't sufficiently understood the problem we're seeking to fix. We also rely on individuals to have all the knowledge and information to make decisions and solve problems. We fail to listen, involve and understand the diverse perspectives, knowledge and skills of our colleagues, partners and customers. We also feel we need to come up with the complete solution and it then becomes fixed in stone. But iteration is key. In a complex, volatile and fast-paced world, we need to learn, review and iterate at pace. The good news is there's a powerful problem-solving approach that can help develop these skills and solve some of your most complex problems. Action learning is a powerful problem-solving experience which develops leadership skills in high-performing teams. It enables exploration of a problem. It enables discussion, deeper analysis, more insight, which leads to higher quality solutions. By focusing on asking questions rather than throwing solutions at each other, it encourages people to listen and build on the thoughts of others. And in doing so, this takes advantage of the diversity and intellect of all present to get to the optimum outcome. And the fantastic thing is, it has maximum learning transfer back into the workplace. So what do people who experience action learning say about it? It's frustrating. At first it feels awkward and uncomfortable. But then, trusting the process, you get into the flow. The reason why action learning can feel this way is firstly, we're conditioned to go straight to solutions. I remember being told early on in my career, Catherine, don't bring me problems, just bring me the solution. So in action learning, when you need to spend a long time exploring the problem, it can feel really frustrating. Secondly, in action learning, we have to be more focused and conscious about what we are asking and saying. In action learning, open questions and statement responses are emphasised, and this is a very different approach to most of the meetings we attend, where we often say what comes straight into our mind. So it's actually a very new skill for most of us, which is more difficult than we realise. Lastly, it feels uncomfortable because we love to share our expertise, and it can be difficult to stand back, understand the problem, listen to others, when all we want to do is tell people how we think they should solve their problem. Because people typically like to jump straight into sharing their thoughts on solutions before fully understanding and exploring the problem, Action learning is a great way of giving you time to explore the problem before looking at solutions. You will work as a group to progress a real, urgent and complex problem that you will bring. You will leave the session with actions to progress the resolution of the problem. But action learning doesn't work with a puzzle. If you have a problem that only has one solution, it won't work. Action learning is for those gnarly, complex problems. In action learning, you will work in a group of 4 to 8 people. Working together on a problem, you'll build relationships with one another, learn key skills, and work as a high-performing team. In action learning, there are 2 ground rules. Firstly, statements can only be made in response to questions. The reason why we emphasise statements is because it enables you to be concise in your answers. This avoids waffling and monologues. It ensures that you're answering the question that is asked, so that helps keep the answer focused rather than going off on tangents. It also causes you to think before you speak. As you can only answer in a statement, it forces you to think about the most important information you want to convey. The second ground rule is that anyone can ask anyone a question at any time. This enables diversity of thought. Innovation, creativity, and breakthrough thinking comes from the diversity of views and experience and opinions of others. By building on the experience of others, you're not just doing what's gone before, but you're iterating through learning from others. It also creates an environment where all can contribute, enabling inclusivity and building a sense of belonging. Action learning sessions are facilitated by a coach who focuses on the performance of the group rather than being directly involved in the problem. Action learning sessions provide a fantastic opportunity to develop our skills and learning, so you will be asked at the beginning of the session to identify what leadership skills you will be working on during your time together. It's a great way to have permission for people to try out different ways of working that may be different to their natural approach. It allows for experimentation and learning and getting feedback on that. The types of leadership skills that people can choose to work from are things like being courageous, being strategic, listening, decisiveness, creativity, being challenging or concise. But you can choose any leadership skill that you wish to work on. The power of open questions is used during action learning. You'll need to ask open questions such as what, why, how, where, when, who. And the reason why questions are emphasised is because it avoids leading questions. So these are questions when you phrase the question to lead the answer you want to hear. And it forces you to just ask the question. A lot of the time we try and answer our own questions by adding a lot of preamble before you ask the question. Building on the answers and questions of others is an essential skill of action learning. To do this, you need to actively listen to what is being said, but also what is not being said, and bring this out in the group through the questions you ask. Listen to understand rather than respond. Too often we're thinking about our responses or argument to defend our position, rather than genuinely listening to what people are saying and building on this. So asking questions and reflecting on what is being said helps you to listen to the contributions of all those in the group. Now, you may be thinking, why on earth am I bringing Albert Einstein into this? But he very famously said that if he had a problem that he needed to solve and only an hour to solve it in, he would spend the first 55 minutes finding out what the problem is, because once he understands the problem, coming to solutions will only take 5 minutes. So understanding the problem, you'll find solutions more quickly, you'll solve the real problem, and you'll find you're more creative in the solutions. During action learning, you will go through the stages of the problem-solving process, which starts with exploring the current situation. What are the issues facing you? What is lacking? You'll then move through to looking at the goal. So where is it you want to get to? Explore the future or the ideal state. What does success look like? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you want to happen? And then you look at solutions. What's the first step? What are the actions to be taken? What are the 3 things that would make the biggest difference? My research from my coaching masters found that action learning can provide a safe container for emotions to be expressed, especially within the context of a pandemic. What my findings showed was that despite decades of organisational research demonstrating that creating safe spaces for the expression of emotions was essential, organisations are still failing to provide this for teams. Action learning creates the environment over sessions to develop this safety, and by you experiencing the process, you will learn how taking a collaborative problem-solving approach, which not only helps to solve a problem, but builds transferable skills, creates a safe space for expression of emotion, and in turn, you build stronger connections with others. Come and talk to me if you want to find out even more about action learning or would like to experience it yourself. But I'm super nerdy about action learning, and I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my talk today. Take care. Bye-bye.